Hey everyone, Master Raygo here from Peak Performance Training Center. Now, if you watched our videos of talking about the knife history and evolution, then you know I am a fan of knives. I've always liked knives and their versatility when it comes to combat, their look when it comes to the art style, and how useful of a tool a knife is. I carry a knife with me, I have for about 10 years now, every day, everywhere I go. It's a fantastic tool, and I think personally, if you know how to handle a knife properly, then you should really carry one around. It's very useful. Today I'm going to talk about some knives from my own personal collection. I started collecting knives about 10 years ago. I got it from my grandfather, who also collects, and some of these he even gave to me. I'm going to tell you about each knife I have here and some stories that go along with them. First one, this was on top of the pile. This is I believe this is a Vietnam era bayonet. I think my parents got me this one. But this bayonet, I don't know the history of it. I don't know what it's seen or done or been. But I do know that it is very rough looking. This here tells me it was used. This is wear. So that's pretty cool. This one here, this is probably the oldest one I have. This is I mentioned in the history video, World War I, not Russian, British bayonet. Now you can tell by the wooden handle. There's not a lot of wooden handles when it comes to military knives past this point. You also tell by the blade design. If you look up World War II, it's a different blade design compared to this one. And it also has, of course, the ring. And as a bayonet, bayonets are for guns, it still fits the hand really well. But I really like this one, and it wasn't until like a couple years after I got it, I then found out exactly how old it is. This one is one of the ones my grandfather recently gave me. This has the Bowie knife design. And the company, I believe, is Columbia, which I know is not just a company. But the company is called Columbia, and it's a U.S. Saber, is what it says. This is a pretty well-designed knife. This is the first knife that just fell out of the sheath. Whoops. This is the first one I bought as a legal adult. When I turned 18, I went and got this one at Academy. This blade design, very good for hunting. This one here is a military survival knife I actually got from a pawn shop in Killeen, or right outside of Fort Hood in Killeen. What's great about this one is the big rubber handle. Now, I believe this handle is big because it's made to fit the hands of a soldier wearing gloves. There are certain knives that are made certain ways for a military soldier with gloves compared to no gloves, which is why I think this one is so huge. It is a very strong survival knife that has its own sharpener. This is the only knife I've really seen with this. And I think it's really cool. Ow. Alright, this one I call my mini katana. This is a CRKT. The cool thing about CRKT knives, known as the Obic, I think CRKT, they get people to design knives for them, just like random knife makers, and they'll design a knife for them, and then they'll just sell it. I have a lot of CRKTs that are very unique pieces, including this one right here. This one is designed, the design is based off a samurai katana, which is why I call it my mini katana. Alright, this is one of the most infamous knives to date. This is a USMC K-bar. K-bars have actually been around for a long time. They started back in about World War II. I have at home a not World War II, but a Vietnam era pilot K-bar knife, which the pilots would put on them in case they had to eject. They had strung it up a certain way. But this one is brand new, not ever used, but it's really a very strong, very sharp knife that you should not ever play with. I've heard horror stories with these things. Alright, another bayonet. I believe this is also Vietnam era. This is a US M8A1. If I remember looking up the history correctly, these were very commonly with the M16s at the time. Did they have M16s back then? Yes. It's been a while since I looked up the history. But once again, this doesn't show me that it's been used a whole lot. As a matter of fact, I would say this was never really used in the field. If it was just worn, not really taken off or on a lot. I would say this is more of a training bayonet. Still sharp though. All right. Spring loaded. Bench made. Spring loaded out of front. Trade. This one I got for my birthday from my grandfather. These are fun ones to play with. This one, don't know nothing about this one. If anybody knows anything about this knife, please let me know in the comments. I've been trying to look up history. All I know is it has very faintly a word here. It says Pakistan. That's all it says. It has a cool little design right here. It looks like a fly, I think. But I would love to know more about this if anybody knows anything. All right, you guys saw the Opinel in the history video. You guys saw this one too. This is a handmade, hand-forged, very beautiful knife. This really shows off the art style when it comes to forging a blade. This is known as a Damascus steel. This is a tanto. I think I said in the history video that I didn't have a tanto, but this is the tanto shape. The last one I have here is known as a balisong or a butterfly knife. Now, the interesting thing about this one, this is a bench made, very expensive, very nice knife. My brother bought for $10 from a friend of his that he didn't really know what he had. But for those who don't know, this is a butterfly knife. Butterfly knives are very popular in movies because they're very flashy. Now, full disclosure, don't play with butterfly knives. They were made illegal in a lot of countries because people would try to play with them and they would end up harming themselves very badly. But a really cool trick you can do with a butterfly knife is you release, you turn, pull, push. So these knives, highly dangerous, but they are a cool piece if you know how to use one correctly. So be careful. And that's really all the knives I got with me today. If you guys have any questions about knives or anything knife related, please let me know in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time.